Hello guys, this is Titans Robert here with another episode of Rome Total War Online 31K Battles. Today my teammate is Titans Paglia. He's taken Macedon. He's got 10 Royal Pikemen, 4 Cretan Archers, and 6 Companion Cavalry. Looks like he opted to do gold companions, so his infantry is going to be very strong. I've taken the Seleucid Empire again. I went for the reverse, gold, royals mostly. I think my general might be gold too. 2 regular archers, and a mix of gold 2 and gold 1 cataphracts. So I thought this battle was very fun, and I thought it would be entertaining to watch. I think it shows the good teamwork that's required from 2 Hellenistic factions in order to be successful against Rome, which is generally considered to be a stronger faction, especially 2 of them. I think it shows the dynamic ways in which Macedon is used as opposed to the Seleucids. I think that despite the fact that they have similar infantry, the nature of the infantry and the cavalry means that the way that you have to use them is very different. So what I mean by that is the main holding part or the attacking part of Macedon is going to be the infantry because it's versus urbans probably the strongest thing you have. To be more specific, the infantry is better at holding its own than the cavalry is. The cavalry, they can charge urbans and kill a lot of them in a charge, but they're very vulnerable to taking missile damage, Pila damage. They don't have great armor, so they take a lot of damage when doing their charge against urbans. That being said, their charge is very powerful, and they are still very dangerous to urbans. Not trying to say they're bad units; they're very good units in my opinion. But the royals have the most staying power, and so they're going to be the main thing you use to initiate an attack. They need to work very closely with the companions for the companions to be useful. So you have to be a very good pike player to be successful with Macedon. And it also helps that they have great archers. Now, with the Seleucids, on the other hand, it's a little bit the reverse. A silver shield pikeman is the same as a royal, except the shield is basically a dinner plate. It's much smaller. Their armor is negligible. So the Seleucids are going to mainly rely on cataphracts, which to experienced players, everybody knows that. But the cataphracts, not the pikemen, at least versus Rome, are the strong standalone unit. They are what you're thinking about, not so much the pikes. The pikes are whereas the pikes for Macedon are pretty much, unless you take a skirmish army, are pretty much the mainstay of the army with cav supporting. The reverse is this case for the Seleucids. The cavalry is the mainstay. This unit is better than everything Rome has, actually. It's more severe than royals. And the pikes are there to support. They're there to soak up Pila. They're there to pin units and create opportunities. It's not to say that Silver Shield pikemen are that bad versus urbans if you're good with pikes, but they're a lot more vulnerable to missiles. Other than that, they're the same as royals, but that missile vulnerability means Pila and archers will deplete them very fast. So you have to be very proactive with cataphracts in order to make it work, and it can be very challenging. It's sort of the reverse of using Macedon in many ways. You also don't even have good archers, so closing in, getting close, and killing without being killed is the name of the game. But you can also say that for Macedon in terms of killing without being killed, because you're at a disadvantage. So let's just get right into it. And I think it's really I love pairing Macedon and the Seleucids. I love pairing different pike factions. I think pike factions they have significant disadvantages against Rome, but they always make up for it with some great strength. And when you get to use a mix of them, you sort of end up with something that in some situations is actually stronger than Rome. If the teams work really well and the players are skillful. But that's enough babbling for me. Let's just get into this. Personally, I'm more of a Seleucid player, but I love Macedon, and I think Paglia is a fantastic teammate to have on your side if he goes Macedon. Very experienced, skillful player with the faction. Great with, and the other thing is that the cavalry, even the way you use the cavalry is so much different. You see, companions are kind of like they're basically Praetorians with less armor, a little less morale, similar stamina, and a slightly more powerful charge. Cataphracts are something different. They're almost like infantry on steroids. They're highly armored. They pierce. They counter other armored units. They have an armor piercing stat. They don't have great stamina. They have decent morale. Not as good as Praetorian. But in terms of killing power, they're far superior to Praetorian in all ways except like slice charging and stuff like that. Praetorians would be better in that regard. Um, so anyway, enough of that. You're gonna see what I mean in just a second. We've just got a lot of archer war going on here, and you can see right off the bat the hard thing about being the Seleucids in a skirmishing situation is that you've got all this cav, which denies the ability to attack much, but archers just can't reach. They're just stubby little archers. They have terrible stamina, so you've always got to run forward, run back. It's very hard to win an archer war with these guys versus someone who's got this. You have to get in close. You've got to be aggressive. But because I have an ally who knows what they're doing using Macedon, that isn't as much of a problem. These Cretans have no issue, reaching these archer auxilia. And this player honestly is doing a smart thing. They're using that reach advantage. It's very hard for me. I'm actually just trying to shoot this cav here because I can't even reach the archers. There's nothing better for me to shoot. So it's very challenging to counter. Can be challenging to win an archer war with the Seleucids for that reason. Because you've only got 6 cataphracts. They've got like 20 units that are all really strong. These pikes aren't really great for punching through urbans by themselves. Pretty much just an archer standoff at this point. This guy's bunching his archers up. That's not going to be good. It means Paglia is taking significantly less casualties for every volley. And, alright, what goes on here is that the Romans have isolated 3 units, and they failed to react when I advanced, so very quickly these cataphracts took barely any losses, and completely annihilated 4 Roman units. Just annihilated. These infantry probably won't even come back. This one might, it has 23. This cav is very decimated. So these cataphracts, this is the strongest unit in this game is the cataphract. Right now, this is very powerful. With Paglia's support, these units here, if they don't get help, they're gone. So said help is arriving. I push back. Trying to be smart with the archers here. I am not so much. Archer gets killed like nothing. It's already tired, already winded. It's not really a great idea to chase one archer with 5 cavalry, but he's got good stamina, so it probably won't matter much. At this point, this Roman formation isn't very good, and he's lost a lot of calves, so I am going to be very aggressive and push all these urbans. I'm in a great position to get some free kills here, and I try to do just that. Paglia is coming in to support because this ally is not responding to what's going on here. He needs to get his urbans in the game. His archers are also exposed, and Paglia is going to wipe out all of these archers. There's nothing these archers can do except run. So right here, really clean engagement. Pikes have these urbans all snarled up. They didn't even throw Pila, so I took no losses. And this is a bad move from Cat. This could probably cost him the game. He gets caught. He needs to run. The cataphracts are going to wipe everything out, is what's going to happen. And this infantry war is a disaster. So, as I said, the cataphracts are a pretty self-sufficient unit. In the last Realm Total War battle, by themselves they were fighting like two and a half Roman armies. There were only five of them doing it. They lasted a long time. So just imagine how easy a couple Praetorians are. This is nothing. The entire unit was wiped out. This unit was charged by 6 units. Still has 36 men. Pike came to support. They had to retreat. Paglia wipes out these Romans here. There really isn't anything they can do about this. There really is nothing. So all these urbans, they were blobbed. Um, they're destroyed. He can countercharge. It's way too late. It's way too late. Macedon can block this guy. That is a disaster. I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to say. His flame arrows are only making it worse. So, I'm tired. As great as cataphracts are, they stop being good units as soon as they're tired. So I need to, honestly, yeah, honestly, it's just smart to rest them. We decide to reform. We did a lot of damage. There's no reason to rush things through. Um, Effectively, the SPQR has been wiped out as an infantry force. It's just the Brutii. It's going to be pretty hard for them to win this at this point, considering the cataphracts are relatively intact. There are still plenty of companions to go around. Archers are flanking. And there are, the Seleucid infantry is still pretty strong, and Macedon is still pretty strong. And to make it worse, he auto-Pilas the Pila screen. So all that Pila kills a pike that's already effectively useless, which is fine by me. And the same thing, it looks like the same thing happened to Paglia. So both players, one player didn't use their Pila, the other one wasted theirs. They do a very good move and go into Testudo, though. I think that's a pretty smart choice. Try to hold off and wear down these Macedonian units. Cataphracts are now winded, so they're resting up. I haven't moved them at all. Yeah, there's some Praetorians here, but I'm not even going to react. I don't think it's necessary. I think Paglia's cavalry it's more than strong enough to deal with these. So coming in for an attack here. So this is why I love pairing with Macedon, because the companions can do all this mopping up action. It lets the cataphracts rest so that they can come in for another attack later and be that much more effective. And Paglia is doing a wonderful job just sort of cleaning house, trying to remain evasive. This is that was a big waste of time and stamina chasing these two archers with all that cav. Paglia did lose a unit there. Again, I don't think we need to have an archer advantage at this point, or necessarily respond to this cavalry. If they want to use all their stamina, what they really need to do is get their cavalry back here, and just protect their urbans, because this, pretty soon, they're fighting a 2-on-1 infantry-wise. I know it's just the Seleucids, and they're not even Gold 2, but the numbers are a little bit overwhelming here, and if they're going to win this, he'd have to use his whole army maybe to wipe out the Seleucids and then try to deal with Macedon. But if he does that, he has no reserves to face all this cavalry, and he would want to use his cavalry to counter the cataphracts. But now, the cataphracts are fresh, and he is tired, plus Paglia is shooting the living daylights, burning these cavalry alive. So I don't know. Pretty soon, the cataphracts are going to just go in and attack, and Paglia's cavalry is already threatening to do some slice charges here. So pretty soon, I don't know what he's going to be able to do, what tired and depleted Praetorian cavalry with only 4 reserves are going to be able to do against all this cavalry and all these pikes. I really don't know. And many of these urbans engaging are close to dying. There's just way too many. This phalanx is way too strong. So Paglia is going to come around the flank with his pikes, which makes things even worse. He doesn't need reserves because the cataphracts are coming in to be like a heavy infantry support now. And they're doing just what they did in the previous game, except it's much easier on them. There's less to fight than in the previous game I recorded. And with this charge, with Paglia's charge, it's gonna be over. He takes the pikes out of phalanx. No need for them to be in phalanx anyway. And as he punches through with the cataphracts in support, he annihilates that entire army. Really good move here with the pikes. That is brilliant. Paglia is great with the surrounding and the flanking. That is perfect textbook teamwork right there. If these cataphracts were in trouble, these royals would have saved the day and solved any problem. Those are gold to gold too. They kill cavalry, obviously. They'll kill an urban if they have to. And that's just a slaughter. They really stood no chance after the SPQR was defeated. I can tell you that. So it was ended up being a heroic victory. Both players got under 700 kills. I had a very lucky attack ahead of Paglia, so my enemy in front of me was basically killed. Paglia supported, and then we worked together to kill the Brutii, which is why I got those kills. I wouldn't say it was because I played better. I just had an opportunity. So, anyway, looking at the kills, the Cataphracts got way better kills than in the last video. We're in the 240s, 208. That's incredible kills. Most of that, it's obviously all Urbans. I didn't really kill many Archers. That's all Urbans and Praetorians. That's an incredible amount of kills for any units versus Roman units. I firmly always state this. Cataphracts are the strongest unit in a game versus Rome. By far. The Seleucids may have a disadvantage against Rome overall, but that Cataphract is the best unit if you use it efficiently, if you don't waste stamina. If you can use it without wasting stamina, it's the best. No argument. Silver Shield Pikemen, obviously underwhelming kills, but they're not, as I said, the main point of the Seleucids is those Cataphracts. Anyways, well played to Paglia. Thank you for playing, Cat and Venator. And it was an awesome game. I loved kind of analyzing the factions there and everything that happened. And yeah, I'll see you next time. If I can click on OBS.